Hi, I'm Markku Wilenius, the traveling futurist. Today, I want to tell you something about Finland. Because Finland, the story is very unique. It's a story from rags to riches, being the most unfavorable country in terms of its economy, being one of the poorest nations, to become one of the most advanced, one of the richest, and one of the most equal nations in the world. So how did this happen? What is behind this miracle? That's what I'm going to tell you about. Let's put this into the context. When we look at the world and the nations that have developed over the last 100 or 150 years, there are only two comparisons that Finland can stand against. The one is Japan, the other one is Norway. Both also from the countries that have risen from quite poor conditions, something like the extreme poor conditions, to be a very affluent. So did Finland. Actually, the Finland is a place where there was a last famine in Europe, which caused more than 250,000 of people to die out of the hunger. Now, this happened something like 150 years ago, but by many standards, it's not that long past. So something has really happened after that, has built this unique feature of Finland. The first aspect of this is like we need to look our maps. We need to see that actually we are bordering Russia, we are bordering Sweden. Now these two countries have had a lot to play in Finland's past. In fact, both of these countries have invaded Finland and occupied Finland and reigned in Finland. But Finland finally got rid of both of these countries and started its own dependency a bit more than 100 years ago. But it still has had a lot of trouble. During the Second World War, Russia invaded Finland and were almost able to capture Finland, but with some heroic battle and combat against them, we were able to gain our independence. And after the war, Finland rapidly changed from being agricultural to industrial country, keen on social progress as well, and technological advancements. And over the time, it started to be obvious that Finland has some particular strengths. Now, these particular strengths can be divided into the 4 different factors. The first factor is that Finland has been developing a very unique education system. This education system is based on the high quality of the teachers, and it's based on the willingness to learn, which is always something that Finnish people have been very much attached to. You don't see any country in the world that has such many institutions helping people to learn, even as an adult, than Finland. So high quality of our education system, and also being accessible, meaning that it doesn't depend how much money you have, because essentially all levels of education are free. And that has enabled also the society internally to move so that people have truly an opportunities here that are not based on where they come from and how much money they have in pockets. A second feature of Finnish society and its culture is its capacity to be equal. Now, there is a lot of interest inside the society to build it in a very equal basis. And this equal basis means that we provide the type of the social systems that enable people from different backgrounds to be equally participating in the society. And actually this is a very long tradition in Finland, even going back to the times when we were still under the Russian spell. And this is stemming from Finland's and Finnish people's interest to have their say of their own future. This has been built then what is currently the modern Finland, with an impact that we are #1 in the happiness index of this happiness report by UN. Why people are happier here than in other parts of the world? I believe that it comes by and large from this idea of equality and equal access, because that builds the people's capacity to meet their expectations during their lifetimes. So to have a people that are happy with their lives, that are content with their lives, that feel that their ambitions have been met. The third aspect is that we Finns, we love nature. Like in this park. We love to go to the nature, we like to roam in the nature, we like to get inspired by the nature. According to polls, majority of Finns still think that the way they want to spend their pastime is that they are out in the nature, whether in their summer hut or in the forest or somewhere else. The simple pleasure of going out and enjoy the nature. So the nature is greatly appreciated here. The fourth aspect is then the technology. You see, when you are born in this latitude, and Finland, by the way, is the northernmost country in the world. So when you are born in this latitude, your cultural habit becomes the one of adaptation. So you want to adapt to the conditions. You don't define those conditions so much as you do adapt to them. Which means that since technology is a tool for adaptation, we have been always very keen on those technologies. It's easy for us to use them, to deploy them, and that's why we have built also this idea of the country which is very advanced, which has highly developed digital systems, whether I talk about the public systems, whether I talk about the digital services of all kinds. So, these four aspects, education, equality, nature, and technology, forms what is the uniqueness of Finland, because all of these four elements are so essential how we can build our very unique way to the success and to the happiness, indeed, of the people. And then the question comes, what is the future of Finland? I believe that it comes from regenerating our ideas, how we use our assets, how we use these particular strengths, these unique strengths of Finland in this world where the needs are changing, where we particularly need to appreciate the nature, where we need to see the technology as working for human good, where equality is the pressing issue of our times, since in most part of the world it's not the equality but inequality which is on the rising. And lastly, it is about building a learning opportunities for everybody in the country. And when you do that, you build the stamina and the basis and the resilience in this complex world where challenges are changing, direction is also changing sometimes, but where we need to build our foundational stones as a country to continue our very unique path in the world and to contribute to that world. So, subscribe to my channel, share the video with your friends, and give your comments and questions. What do you think is the most important aspect of Finland to contribute to the future of the world? And see you on the next video.